Pot's starting to get hot. Now I'm going to go ahead and start cooking some stuff down. So like I said, I trimmed some of the fat from the meat earlier. Just going to try to cook that down a little bit more. Get some more oil in here. Keep in mind that, yeah, I'm kind of cheating with this, so I don't have to kind of watch it. But you don't have to do it in an Instapot. You can do it in just a regular pot. If you got a cast iron, like a thick cast iron skillet, or a tall one I should say, you can make it in that as well. It's all the same. It's just you do have to kind of watch it a little bit. You're going to put it on low heat and just let it simmer for a long time, so that way the meat tenderizes. With the Instapot, again, just because it's a pressure cooker, it will tenderize and it will cook very fast. It will be a short amount of time. If I would do this in my cast iron skillet, it may take a few hours, right? Again, it all depends on if the meat is tender and kind of breaking apart with the spoon. And if you can do that, then you know it's ready. If not, it just has to keep on going. But with the Instapot, you can have it pressure cooked for either 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the amount that you're making. And it usually comes out super tender, almost always. So again, I'm cooking all this fat down so we can get a little bit more grease, because we're going to sear our meat. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my meat in right now so I can sear it. Going to put a little bit of salt and pepper. Just a little bit of garlic powder. Move this to the side a little bit. I'm going to throw in some diced or chopped onions, garlic, and some bell pepper. I'm not making it spicy today, but typically if I want it spicy, I'll put some serranos or jalapenos at this moment as well. So we're going to just throw that in. We're going to sweat these down. And that was 1 whole onion, 1 bell pepper, and about 4 cloves of garlic. So we have a couple options. You can either A, just use regular plain water with some chicken bouillon, or B, you can use some broth, either chicken broth, beef broth, vegetable broth, to let it cook in to make the gravy. I'm gonna kind of do a little half and half because I do like the flavor with the chicken bouillon, honestly. So I'll put some chicken bouillon, and we'll put some water and a little bit of vegetable broth, and we'll kind of mix it up with that. But right now, again, we're just trying to sear and cook down the vegetables right now, and then we're gonna start to put in a little bit more items in here. We are using some Roma tomatoes. I do want that reddish color, so I'm gonna add a little bit of tomato paste in here, not a whole lot, just like a teaspoonful. And we are gonna put some flour to coat the meat, and that's gonna kind of help with the gravy. And we're back. Hopefully this works. Got some steam really going, fogging up my own glasses and the camera. All right, so again, cooking this all down. I'm gonna add some flour to this, and also some tomatoes. So I got some diced Roma tomatoes. And mix this up. Add a little bit of flour to this, and this is for that gravy. Everything's gonna dry up real quick once you add that flour, so we're gonna start to add in our chicken bouillon and water and stuff to this really soon. But I do want to coat everything up. I'm going to go real heavy on my cumin. Alright. Add a little bit of chicken broth to this, or sorry, vegetable broth. And since I am using a pressure cooker, right, I'm actually going to add a little bit more water than I normally would. Just going to clean up my ladle, clean up the sides. Add a little bit more than that. Alright, so pretty much I kind of just want to go cover up all the meat and the vegetables. And I am going to use just a little bit of tomato paste into this. And we're just going to let that sit. I'm going to close this lid. I'm going to put it on either high pressure on your pressure cooker. Sometimes it will say stew, like stew meat. It's all the same. Like it's pretty much on high. You're going to cover it up. I'm going to set this for 45 minutes. Okay, and then this for my size pot. I have an 8 quart Instapot. Okay. And we're back. So it's been over an hour and a half. it naturally released its air or pressure on the pressure cooker. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and scoop up all this grease that's sitting on the top. All right. Once we're good with that, we're just going to give it a little stir. And I'm just going to kind of see the consistency of the gravy. Like, I like it to be a little bit thicker than this. So I'm just going to add a little bit more flour, or if you want to add some cornstarch, you can do that right now as well. All right, but I'm just going to give it a little stir. I'm going to give it a little taste test. And then I'm going to add just a little bit more flour to this just to thicken it up. Grab my spoon. And flavor is perfect. I don't have to add anything else to it. The only thing I want now is just that gravy to thicken up. So I'm gonna make a little slurry with that. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of water, or take the broth out of here, or the gravy from here, mix it with some flour, and throw it back in. All right. So I got a little bit of flour with some water mixed in. I'm going to pour some of this in here, just kind of help incorporate it a little bit more. And I'm going to pour it in. Give it a good stir. And that's just going to help thicken up that gravy, right? There you go. Now it's a little bit more better, right? And again, you can serve this over some rice, and I made some Spanish rice for this, so you can have some refried beans, eat it with some tortillas. If you want to make like a torta, which is basically like a little bread, making a sandwich out of it, you know, perfectly fine, right? Just basically get this stew meat and serving it with that. Awesome. All right, enjoy, guys.